This is the Synthetic Signal Report for Thursday, June 25th, 2026 in the afternoon. Today, we analyze the debut of sub-1 nanometer chip technology, the deciphering of a Herculaneum scroll, the formation of the Akrites initiative for open-source AI security, and the escalation of large-scale AI model cloning between Anthropic and Alibaba. We also cover the threat of persistent memory attacks against LLM agents and the recent Cisco SSRF vulnerability. IBM has achieved a significant milestone in semiconductor physics by demonstrating the world's first sub-1 nanometer chip technology. This development moves beyond the current architectural limits of 2 nanometer nodes. By integrating new materials and vertical stacking geometries, the research team has successfully managed quantum tunneling effects that traditionally plague transistors at this scale. This is not yet a commercial manufacturing process, but it establishes the roadmap for computing power well into the next decade. As power density remains the primary bottleneck for AI workloads, these smaller, more efficient transistors are essential for sustaining current trends in model training. For the first time, an entire Herculaneum scroll has been fully read using high-resolution X-ray computed tomography and machine learning algorithms. The text, preserved in volcanic ash since the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, had remained unreadable for millennia. The digital restoration process involved segmenting individual layers of carbonized papyrus and training neural networks to detect the minute differences between ink and fiber. This breakthrough demonstrates the power of computational archaeology. It provides a blueprint for recovering lost historical data from delicate artifacts that are too fragile to be physically unrolled. The Linux Foundation has launched Akrites, a coordinated initiative designed to manage vulnerability disclosure and remediation for critical open-source software. With the integration of AI tools, the rate of vulnerability discovery has accelerated, overwhelming traditional human-led security processes. Founding members, including Microsoft, Google, AWS, OpenAI, NVIDIA, and IBM, have pledged to create a shared security incident response team. Akrites will focus on standardizing how the open-source ecosystem handles the automated identification and patching of bugs, moving away from fragmented, ad hoc responses.
Anthropic has formally accused the Chinese firm Alibaba of orchestrating the largest attempt yet to clone its Claude model. This follows the release of Anthropic's latest model and subsequent export restrictions that limited its availability in certain foreign markets. The dispute centers on the unauthorized distillation of model weights, which Anthropic claims was achieved through systematic query scraping. This incident highlights the growing geopolitical friction in AI development, as companies compete to replicate the reasoning capabilities of leading models amidst tightening trade controls. A critical development in agent security involves persistent memory, attacks against large language model agents. Research indicates that models using retrieval-augmented generation are vulnerable to memory injection. By embedding malicious instructions in retrieved documents, attackers can force agents to execute unauthorized actions in sessions long after the initial injection. This creates a stateful threat that bypasses standard prompt-based safeguards. Current defenses remain reactive, failing to account for how agentic memory across multiple sessions can be weaponized. CISA has issued an emergency mandate regarding a critical server-side request forgery vulnerability in Cisco Unified Communications Manager and the Session Management Edition. Unauthenticated remote attackers can leverage this flaw to write files to the underlying operating system. If successfully exploited, this provides a path to root-level privilege escalation. Administrators are required to remediate this vulnerability by June 28th. To prevent unauthorized system control. Community sentiment remains fixated on the intersection of hardware constraints and AI model performance. First, the Armageddon phenomenon is causing significant sticker shock as global memory shortages drive up hardware prices for laptops and tablets, directly impacting the adoption of local AI agents. Second, developers are gravitating toward the new Claude AI desktop app by Samuto69, which provides a proxy interface for local LLM routing and supports NVIDIA NIM, reflecting a desire to bypass expensive cloud subscriptions. Third, there is intense discussion regarding the shift toward compliance as code. Security professionals are moving away from document-based governance, favoring OSCL-native, machine-readable controls that can be queried by AI agents in real time. Finally, the consensus is that the rapid evolution of gaslight malware, which tricks AI tools into misclassifying their own environments, is the next major defensive front, requiring a fundamental shift in how we validate inputs to AI-assisted analysis tools.